What's up, y'all? It's me, Erika. We are down here. What's today, Wednesday or Tuesday? I think today is Wednesday. So we down here to talk about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And then I have to come back and talk about Encore because I think it came on last night. So I have to come back and talk about that later, okay? So we're down here to talk about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment. I didn't even know you stopped by. We are down here. All right, so let me get in my parking space. They might as well just put like a little sign right here, right, and be like, this is her parking space. All right, so we down here, okay? Now, so I don't know about this. Okay, so I had to cover my hair, y'all, because I didn't like the way it was looking yesterday, and I'm not gonna dye it until this weekend. So that's why I have this on, but I should have had a black one on. This is black, but it don't match. I should have had just solid black on. But it's okay. It's whatever. I guess. What y'all think? It's okay? Okay. So let's talk about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. This episode was okay. I was kind of... I want to talk about the end a little bit. Okay, so we start off with, the little, how they go through each of the houses and, go off on who's doing what or whatever. So, hold on. I have to be higher. I have to be tall. Come on, bitch. Let's get into this. I'm just getting into this, the whole little thing. It's cute. I should have had a black one on though, but it's cute or whatever. All right, so Sutton picks Erika up and takes her to the spa, right? So Sutton basically says, like, when your friends are going through a divorce, that you really need to, like, be there for them and, just be there to support them and encourage them. So they go to the spa. Sutton rented out the spa for them, so it's nobody else there, okay? And they just basically talked about being married to rich and powerful men, how in divorce they don't roll over. They really fight and fight and fight. And she says, what did Erika say? She was like, I'd be surprised if I was left with anything or something like that, which is really sad. And you know what I thought about? The reason why everybody is kind of confused about Erika's relationship with Tom and, like, was it bad? Because she never talked about it. And every time she spoke of him, which I guess, like, wives are supposed to do, is you're not supposed to speak badly of your partner, but it didn't seem like there was, because we didn't get to see him a lot. So when we did see them together, it was like not for very long. I don't know. I feel it feels weird because I feel like she's trying to paint a picture that I'm like, okay, well, I just don't, like, I believe her. I believe that he was a little asshole of a lawyer man, old ass husband. I love what she was like, bitch, if he is 83 years old, 83 and a half years old, out here still trying to get some pussy, more power to you, player. I said, yes, Erika, that's how you gotta be, you old ass man. What? But you got the money to pull them. Anybody's gonna want to be with you if that's what the goal is. If their goal is to be with a rich ass old ass man, well, rich ass man, they don't give a damn if he's old. Erika didn't care if he was old. I think they said he's 33 years older than Erika. That was crazy. So she was just talking about that. Then we see Crystal. She's working out as well. She's talking about her body image and things like that. Her little girl was acting up, and she feels like that her daughter is not like one of those kids where you have to be like super, super, super strict. You kind of have to like guide them to the direction. You can't make it feel like you're telling them what to do. They're more independent. My youngest son is like that. It's almost like you can't, he's an Aquarius, so it has to make sense. You'd be like, that don't even make sense. So it has to make sense. And because I was that child, that I would be like, any adult would say something to me, I'd be like, girl, that don't even make sense what you trying to tell me to do. So I get that. I get what she was saying. It's like you can't be super strict with those types of children. You just kind of gotta like be a little manager of like, okay, go this way, but not really let them know that you're making them go that way, right? And that's where parental guidance comes in. So that was cute to see, because she was pissed off, and what she said, you're all stupid. Some parents, baby, using words like that, baby, you will get in so much trouble. Stupid. Oh, okay. That's what we calling names now. Okay. Back at the spa, Erika was talking about how Tom never saw her in Chicago. He never came to see her. I think she was out there for 4 months. And she said she was out there on her own. And I guess that was the time when she realized, bitch, I could do this on my own. No, that's not when, like, to me, okay, fine. You felt like you could do it on your own, but you weren't really doing it on your own. You were still being funded by Tom Girardi, right? He was still funding your life at the time. It seems very weird that she just like cut everything off, left without leaving a note. She says she hasn't spoken to him at all. I almost feel like it was I felt like this is how I felt like in my mind. Okay, just follow me for a second. In my mind, I felt like Erika and Tom were like in a high-speed chase, and Tom had all the money and the bags in the car, and they're driving the car, and they realize they're going to be caught, and Erika gets out of the car and just walks away, and like nothing. That's why I feel like she just walked away, because do I think that she knew what he was doing? It's the same thing with Phaedra and Apollo. Remember Phaedra said she didn't know what Apollo was doing? I didn't believe Phaedra at all. I didn't believe Phaedra. I felt like Phaedra is a nosy, paranoid Scorpio. She knows everything what Apollo was doing. There's no way Apollo could have been in no strip club spending thousands of dollars and not have a job. Where are you getting the money from? And why are you going into the funeral business? Okay. Anyways, that's another show. That's another show. So, but do I feel like Erika she just got up and walked away, even though there was some kind of level of understanding of what was going on? That's why I say like she was in the car and just got out of the car and walked away. You know how and then try to blend in with the rest of society. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel like is going on with Erika. Let me know if I'm just like too far off, or how do you feel? I don't know, because I feel like I don't know. Like, you got to think like everything your spouse does at work. Do you know what they're doing? Do you know what your spouse does at work? Now, if your spouse was embezzling money, right, and was like maybe just telling you, girl, I got a raise, we down here, let's go on a trip, we on trips and stuff like that, you would be like none the wiser, right? Like, oh, you got a raise, great. All this time they embezzling money, now it's coming down, and all of a sudden, what are you gonna do? Or the money that he was embezzling from the company, this is still a hypothetical with you and your partner, right? Would you know? So that's why I'm trying to give Erika the benefit of the doubt. It's just very weird how everything is going with her. It's just very weird. It just feels weird, and it just like she's not, you could tell the way she's dressed is not super duper fabulous. You know what I'm saying? Like, she has to get rid of all of the extra amenities because she no longer has that money. And I figure out, was Erika stacking her money? I don't feel like Erika is a dumb broad. I don't feel like she's dumb at all. So I'm just trying to see. I feel like she can be a little bit, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about all of this with Erika Girardi. Garcelle, she said that she needs help with her sons. She's a single mother. Every time you see single mothers need help with their children, they need help. It's great to have help. Single parents do it all the time with no help, but it's so much easier when the community comes in and helps raise his children. It's just it's a really good thing. And so her sons are there, and they're standing around and talking, and she asked them, was that later when she asked them about getting married? Yeah, no, she mentions it there because she's dating, right? She's has a dating coach or whatever they call a matchmaker or whatever, and she's asking her sons, like, what would you guys do if I got remarried? And they were like, why would you want to do something like that? Like, girl, we got it made over here, and plus we don't want no man in here trying to tell us what to do. You know what I'm saying? I already know how the little boys are thinking, right? Like, we good. We got it. No, we good. So one son was like, no, and then he was like, no, I'm the only love that you need. And she went over there and hugged him and stuff like that. I like watching Garcelle and her sons because I relate to that. So then we get to Lisa Rinna and Erika, right? They are, I don't know where, they're going to get Christmas decorations. So they're talking, so they were like, girl, let's gossip, right? So I love how you're like, you want to hear a little gossip, girl? They're like, yes, girl, let's go. So her and Rinna driving down the street. So they start talking about Scott Disick. No, first was Tom was seen out with a woman. That's what the first part is, because that's when Erika said, if you 83 years old and still trying to get some pussy. I love that. I don't know. Let me tell you something. I come from a time as a youth where you couldn't say shit, nothing on TV. You couldn't say nothing. Now they saying pussy, dick, ass, bitch. What else are they saying? I just said all those words. YouTube's gonna be like, girl, snatch. But she said pussy. I was like, I love it. I love the word pussy. Sorry, I just love it because I love the way it sounds, especially with Grace Jones. Oh my God, wait. Why do I have it? I don't know. Do I have it? Yes.
Pussy like this, staring you smack in your face. No man can turn down this pussy. You stop. I don't know any man that can refuse this pussy. Stop saying pussy. People are eating in here. Pussy. 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 Pussy.
Puss, pussy. I don't know why I have that in my phone. Shout out to Grace Jones and Eddie Murphy and Boomerang. Pussy. No man can turn down this pussy. Why don't you want to fuck me? Let me get back. Okay. So Lisa Rinna starts talking about her daughter, Amelia, who is 18 years old and is dating a man who is 37 years old, who just so happens to be Scott Disick, who has 3 children. I love the way that they were like, Scott was not married to Courtney. Like that was like, he was unmarried and had 3 kids. You know how that looks in their community? Like he had 3 kids with a woman and didn't marry her. He ain't quality at all. At all. That's what I got from them mentioning. Kyle mentioned it and Lisa mentioned it. He wasn't married. We all know he wasn't married, right? But you had 3 kids with a woman and didn't marry her. What's wrong with you? Okay. She's 18 years old. Maybe it's a phase, and maybe it's another label of what she's going to go through in life. I don't know. I think that, 18 years old with a 37-year-old, I'm not sure why he's in spaces where there's teenagers. I'm not sure, because really 18 and 37, how many years is that apart? Erika was like 19. Like she can literally be his child. So I'm thinking of parents that started young, 18, 19 years old, and had children at 19 years old, and when you're 37 you got an 18-year-old. So it's like, where are you, Scott, hanging around fucking playgrounds and shit? Like that's to me, I feel like that's gross. And I feel like men who do that, I've always had this theory that men, when they get a certain age, and it's usually around their mid-30s, because that's when the shit starts slowing down about that time, about 34, 35, and things start getting floppy and soggy and hair starts going away and things like that. And so I feel like I want to align myself with someone who is youthful and suck the youth and siphon the youth out of this woman, this new woman who is now just out in the scene. I'm going to suck the life out of her and the youth out of her. and change her perception of men. Not going to do her any good. 37 years old, I feel like there's a control thing because other women his age can see him coming from a mile away. You know why? Because they've had experiences with men like him before. At 18 years old, you don't know who the fuck is coming in your direction. You don't know what plans he has for you. None at all. If I was Harry Hamlin, I would be sick. I would be sick, and it sucks because if you tell her no, we know how we all have done. Tell me no, I'ma want more of it. So what do? She is at the age of consent. I would definitely, I don't know. I would definitely not be okay with it. I just don't think it's cool for a man that age to be sniffing around little girls like that. She's a little girl. She's 18 years old. Her brain isn't even finished developing yet. And what you're doing is something's going to happen, and her lens of men will change. Y'all don't think I don't know if men really realize that they do that. I think all they're doing is looking for like energy and youth to siphon when they're that age, sniffing around little teenagers and stuff like that. I don't know. I think I spent too much time on this, but I just think it's gross. And then when I didn't watch both of the Kardashian, I saw clips of their reunion thing with Andy. Scott looked like the man who sits in the playground with a overcoat on, who has no clothes underneath, and exposes himself to children in the playground. That's what he looked like. His hair, just his whole presentation. And I was like, why does he look like such a creep? And because he's getting to the age where he needs to siphon the energy of a youthful young woman. That's what he looks like to me, like an old nasty creepy, gross man. That's what he looks like to me. Kyle and Portia's getting ready for her bat mitzvah. She screaming and hollering when Sophia showed up. They talked about how close her and Sophia were, all that dramatic crying and stuff like that. Talking about her in high school and stuff like that, how she's not really socializing. She hasn't been to the school that she's enrolled in due to COVID. Like my son, both of my sons, one was 6th and 8th, and they didn't have a year, and they had to graduate like a drive-by graduation. It was like uneventful. It was just like, okay, but that's what happened. So the socializing part, that's why my son is in summer school. I was like, now you can go and hang out with the kids. You can get your little social skills back together and stuff like that. It's important. The social part of school is really, really important. It lays the foundation for, just a lot of our personalities and all of that. So it's important. Anyways, Dorit's portrait was really nice. Do I think that people are narcissists? I mean, I think we all have a little bit of narcissist in us. Narcissus. Is that his name? Narcissus. We have a little bit of him in us where we're just, we have that. And I think everybody has that. It's when it becomes a disorder. That's the different part of it. I think a lot of people get that confused because there's an actual personality disorder, narcissistic. But then it's a little bit like, oh, I like the way I look. I want to put a portrait of myself. That's like a little bit, I mean, we all have it in us. I thought it was dope, especially with the little yellow thing going over her eyes. I thought it was really dope. Anyway. So they're going to eat. Dorit got on her Louis Vuitton. Love that Garcelle was like, girl, you ain't never got to guess, right, what Dorit has on, because it's screaming. It is screaming what I have on. I'm going to tell you what I think about Dorit and her fashions and who's styling her. I have seen her stylists, right, and they are not black. However, Dorit gives you fashion like a black girl was the stylist, or a black man was the stylist. I don't know why I have a feeling that her stylist goes and looks at fashion the way that black stylists and black fashion, how that looks, and dresses Dorit. From her hairstyles to her fashion, it looks like she's being styled by somebody black. That's how I feel. I don't know if anybody else feels like that. Dorit be fly as fucking hell. And I saw her stylist and I was like, That's her stylist, because I thought her stylist was black. Especially, remember last year when she had all them those hair clips in her hair all over? Was that last year or year before last? Dorit be really cute. Honey, I don't have to. I'm like, honey, I'm like Rodney. I don't want to have to turn my car on and run your ass over. Don't be getting too close to people's cars. You understand me? When Rodney saw his coworker walking through the back, he was like, honey, I'm the same way. I'll turn this motherfucker on and I boop boop would just be. Y'all see me rolling away. We down here, bitch. So Kyle says, no, Lisa says amongst the group, should I call Scott Lord Disick when I meet him at first? Kyle was like, girl, this is dumb. I don't like it. He's never been married. He has 3 kids. He's too old for her. She was like, he's too old and he has 3 kids. Like, girl, that's not who you want to get with, even though Scott is a trust fund baby. Scott is a trust fund baby, okay? And that might be the reason why they're okay with her dating him, because he's not broke. You know what I'm saying? But it's still the age range, the experience, the life experience, the lack of awareness of an 18-year-old. I think it's an unfair playing field for a man to date a child like that. Like, really, it makes me, I feel I'm grossed out. I'm grossed out for real. They asked all the women what would they do if their daughter was Amelia, and Garcelle's like, hell no. Everybody was like, no, absolutely not, no way. But everybody knows, once again, you tell your 18-year-old self no. Tell your 18-year-old self no. What would they have done? Did it anyway, right? Okay, and did it anyway, right? Garcelle's son. They talk about Garcelle's son now. Garcelle's son, her black ass son, went out and found him a non-black woman with how many kids? So what is this thing that they say about single moms that about black single mothers? What is it? But then these black men go out and marry single mothers. So I don't understand. Somebody is lying. somebody is lying. That they show that, wasn't that a white woman in the picture? I was trying to see, and it was dark it was 1:00 in the morning when I was watching. What time was it? I saved this. When I was done, it was 2:22 in the morning. I said, is that a white lady in the pictures? Okay. I said, but what? I thought single mothers were like not like the thing. Maybe it's just black single mothers. Maybe that's what it is. Because I was like, he sure didn't marry that. Well, maybe they didn't get married. Maybe she just had a baby. Because you know the black men don't really like to get married. Only 29% of black men get married. 51% more than, yeah, I think it's like 51% never marry. So I wonder if they got married. Maybe, probably not. Anyways, y'all gonna be mad at that stat, huh? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So Garcelle's son, dealing with addiction, he went and found him a white woman to take care of him, and they have another baby together. Garcelle is excited. She signed up for Bumble, and she's talking to 3 different people. She's very excited about that. It's very interesting. What's her name makes a comment. Kathy makes a comment about Peeping Thomasina. And they were like, who in the hell is Peeping Thomasina? And they're laughing and stuff like that. And so it's a joke from her calling herself a Peeping Tom in the situation with Crystal. So they get to the word violated, and they're just going back and forth with the word violated. And, you know, when you use the word violated, people tend to believe that there was something sexual about what happened. You pair the word violated with her coming into her room and she didn't have any clothes on, and then you use the word violated. It just seems like it was something sexual in nature. That's what the women are saying. They were hung up on the word violation. I wrote dismissing Crystal's experience. I felt like they were kind of like, girl, you weren't violated. And I don't feel like you can tell somebody what they feel, how they describe their experience. unless they say, I can't think of another word, but I felt violated. Then you could be like, well, did you feel like she was rude? Did you feel like she was intrusive? Like maybe like giving you another word to use. But violated means that you crossed a boundary, you crossed a threshold that you were not allowed to cross. That's how I feel violated means. It can mean anything in any aspect, from just the basic, standing in somebody's space. Like, that's a violation. Get out of my personal space. Walking in someone's door without them saying come in. She says she thought she heard her come in. That's the first time I heard Sutton say that she thought she heard her come in. Did you hear her say come in? I didn't hear her say come in. We were watching the damn video. I guess she was on the phone talking, so maybe that's what she heard. I don't know. But she says, okay, well, now I'm getting angry, and you don't want me to get angry. And it's like, I felt like it when I was watching the table. I was watching Crystal, and the way that Crystal explained it to Dorit, it did seem like it was traumatic for her. And I don't know if anybody wants to ask her, like, was it traumatic for you? But she keeps saying, no, I don't want to talk about it anymore. I'm done with it. And she's like, I'm not taking back the word violated. That's how I felt, and that's what it was. Like, she was like, look it up. And they were trying to tell her that the word violated was synonymous with sex, and that's when people use the word. Now, I'm thinking in the climate that we're in, that when you say that, then that's going to take the person to that, like, thinking like, oh my God, what was she doing? Was she looking at her? And she was like, and then you said I came in and I was looking like Mr. Poppins. I said, come on, fucking Sutton. Sutton will give you that kooky. I love that about Sutton, because she's like, she really does not care. Like, she really doesn't care. She knows that she's goofy. And I thought it was funny because it was kind of like a comic relief after all of that. I'm glad and then they all started laughing. So I thought that was good that she did that. And I think that she did that intentionally to kind of break it up. But I don't like that they were trying to get Crystal, even though, that's what I'm saying. I always try to see, like, if I was Crystal and I said, well, you came into my room, you did knock, I felt violated by that, right? Nobody knows Crystal's story. Nobody knows what she's experienced before in her life. Nobody knows any of that. I'm going to use the word violated because that's how I felt. Now, you don't like that I use the word violated because you don't like the way it makes you look, and that's your reputation. You want to safeguard your reputation at all costs. That's fine. No, I don't, like, maybe Crystal, I don't know if she could have said, no, I didn't feel like threatened by you, but I did feel like you violated my personal space. And I don't think anybody can argue by that. Like, I didn't feel like you were coming in there like I was in harm's way or anything like that, but I did feel like you violated my personal space. And then they were like, well, I guess you don't have any girlfriends. That don't have nothing to do with it, because in a group of friends, while I might be the one who doesn't care about nudity, right, there might be someone, and based on whatever experiences they had in their lives or whatever truths they done told themselves about nudity and the woman's body, it makes them uncomfortable. I've been in groups of women where a couple of us are fine with, taking off our shirts, like even in the spa. Like, some women, even in a spa, do you understand me? Some women will go into the stall or behind a shower curtain and change. They just feel uncomfortable. Yet there's some women in the spa butt ass naked. That's your girl. I don't care. Like, we all women. What? We all women. We all look different. We all would, you know what it is. That's what it is. What it is. But there's some women, and that's not for me to be like, well, maybe you don't have girlfriends because you're afraid to get naked in front of girls. No, bitch, you don't know my fucking story. You don't know. Maybe I have a big ass burn scar on my back that I don't want anybody to see. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what it is. It could be fucking anything. So I didn't like the way they did Crystal at the end, even though I think Crystal, because I was kind of conflicted. I was like, Crystal, you did make it seem like it was something more than what it was. But we can't tell Crystal. I don't know. It's like she changed the story. She did change the story. She said she wasn't going to stop using the word. So I don't know. Hopefully they get it resolved and they don't keep bringing it up, because Kathy kind of brought it up, but then it was really Kyle that was like, well, when you use the word violated, that's what it was. And I feel like Kyle is being weird with Crystal in this situation. It seems like she's not she's not, it's not like she doesn't believe Crystal. She's not taking it as serious as maybe the way Crystal is presenting it. It's almost like she's being dismissive to it. So that's what I think about it. Anyways, y'all, take care of each other. Protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. You guys let me know about the last scene. I'm trying to figure out, like, why it wasn't really a big deal, but it was a big deal because they were trying to get her to change what she said, to change how she felt. And I didn't like that. I don't like that. And there's like multiple people, and they were like, girl, you didn't get violated. That is not violated. Violated is this. And then she was like, no, y'all look it up. I thought it was funny when they put violation, and then were putting all the definitions underneath. And then what Crystal said, period. Oh God. Anyways, damn bird. All right, y'all, I'm out of here. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. We'll get down in the comments. Peace.